So this is behind the scenes of a WordPress website, and I've chosen one that is fairly simple, and it's probably the closest to what yours would end up like if we decided to go with WordPress. So basically what WordPress is the WordPress code, which sits right down the bottom and nobody touches unless you're doing development work. It runs all of all the computer code that tells all of this where to display and where not to display. But we don't manipulate it anymore, and we haven't manipulated it for a long time. So here's the front end of this website. Basically what sits on top of that is a theme, and it's the theme that adds all the pretty bits, like the colors and where the squiggly lines are and where the menus are and where the menus aren't, and the top and the bottom and all of the thing. And then on top of that, and again, in the case of your website, we won't actually be manipulating or touching this theme very much. You'll have Ocean WP is the theme that will be sitting on top. WordPress has now got so good that we hardly even touch themes anymore, although we used to. And then sitting on top of all of that is what's called plugins, and plugins provide the functionality. So the booking calendar, the image, how you can put images in, how you can put text in, menus, all of that sort of stuff. So, and which we won't have as many plugins as what I've got on here. I tend to put stuff on here to play with it. We will have Updraft Plus, which is a backup and restore plugin, so it'll be automatically backing up your website as we go along, as over time, and make sure that if anything happens to it, you can roll back to a backup. We'll also have WordFence, which is a security one, and then a few other of these bits and pieces. How we then build the pages is that, and let's have a look at this homepage. With a plugin called Elementor, and Elementor really revolutionized WordPress websites in terms of the use of them for people who are not computer literate, and has taken away all the stuff about people who used to say you can't do WordPress, it's too complicated. Basically, it's drag and drop. So I can move any of these sections anywhere around. I can add new. I can add new columns. I can take things away. I can change the picture, change another picture, put it in there. Basically, I'll be setting up most of this behind the scenes, but let's say you want to freshen everything up. Let's say you want to add a section that says, we've got a spring sale starting whenever, and it's ABCD. We want to add current work that you've been working on, before and after photos. It's really, really simple. If you want to add a new section, it's as simple as adding the section, and you can even go in and use there's a whole lot of pre-stuff that's already done for you there. Elementor comes in two versions. There is a free version and there is a pro version. The pro version is around about $70 a year. Whether you definitely need the free. The pro, I don't know. We'll work that out as we go along. A lot of what I can do probably on your site probably won't need the pro version, but it gives you a lot more flexibility if it has. Like quite a number of these are pro templates, and you might want to be able to sometimes harness into the power of that. I won't update this. So let's say we put, a new widget in here, and we wanted, a heading in here, and then we wanted to add below that, some text. Then we wanted to put in some images, an image there. We wanted to put in another image. We want to duplicate all that. That's how simple it is. We don't like any of that, so we get rid of the whole thing because we've decided we don't want it. So that, with the video I will give you on how to run all this, will be very simple for you to do. Can't remember what image I had up there, but anyway, I'm not going to update this, so it won't matter. You can go and have a look as you go along as to what you've done and what it looks like before it actually goes live. You can roll stuff back if you make a mistake. You can do all sorts of other things. The only reason people do tend to hate WordPress is there is some degree of overhead in that. Yes, I'm going to leave. There is some degree of overhead because you do have to make sure that these plugins, that the plugins, the theme, and the WordPress core stay up to date. Because if they don't, the website can break, or it can be hacked into, which is not very, it doesn't happen very often, but it can happen, or it just ceases to work properly. That's why I always have a backup on it. That's changing now because they have just gone up to a new version of WordPress which is enabling auto updates. I'm not enabling them yet because, quite frankly, we're waiting to see whether we should. Sometimes, because there's the 3 levels of things going on, the WordPress core, the theme, and then the plugin, sometimes the plugins aren't as up to date as the theme, and you will get conflicts going on. So we tend to prefer at this stage, to enable to do the updates ourselves. Then we can know if something goes wrong, what happens, why it happened, what we were doing when it happened. But that's something that might change now that we've got all these. What I'll do is end up enabling it on something like this site and seeing whether it works, how much it's breaking. You've got things like a media library where you've got the the images you put in, and you can go and grab any one of those images from where you need to, anywhere on the pages. You can have yourself and someone else, or you can have yourself under 2 different. As you see, I've always got 2 different email addresses in here. This is both me, but I've got 2 different email addresses. In the end, if there's a problem with one email address, or for some reason one of these corrupts, I can always get back in. All of these, a WordPress website is hosted by a hosting company. So the core is free, the theme is free, most of the plugins are free, but you've got to host it somewhere. I use and recommend SiteGround for a couple of reasons. One, they're not the cheapest, but they're not the dearest, but they have good support. It's $6.99 per month for your first 12 months, and you pay 12 months in advance. And then after that, it goes up to $20 a month. So that's everything. That's your domain name. That's the website. That's the security of these guys are also backing up, as well as us backing up. That's a free security certificate which you need for Google, and it gives you a certain degree of size. That's all you need. One website with 10 gigabytes is more than enough from you. With 10,000 visits monthly, that's more than enough for what you need. So that would be the cost to you, over and above my cost of building it. That would be the cost to you of a WordPress website. But then, as I say, there is the keeping this up to date, but it's all fairly simple. And all my clients, after I've built a WordPress website, they go out with a video that shows them their site and how they're going to keep it updated, and where I've put various things on their site. Okay, so that's the first decision we have to make before we go anywhere further. Is it going to be a WordPress or Wix website? So I hope you look at both videos, and we can work it out when I see you.